I've been playing Otome games for a long time, I've got a lot of routes under my belt. Unfortunately, while Twst isn't an Otome game, I see guys in some of the characters I've romanced over the years, so I want to give suggestions. A huge thanks to my friend Richter, who helped me with some of the characters I was struggling on and also debated with me on who would be a better suggestion. Also, I just want to say now, this is not a comprehensive list. I've played a lot of Otome routes, like I mentioned before, but there's just some dudes I couldn't think of being similar enough to each other. Here's a list of dudes I don't have route suggestions for, so if these are your only Oshis, I'm hoping to make a part 2, but god, who knows when that's gonna happen. If you're a huge fan of Hanae Natsuki and you're fine with a very non-Riddle-like character, Hanae voices Jonah in Ikemen Revolution, which I have to say is my favorite game based off of Alice in Wonderland, in general, and Jonah is one of my favorites. Also, it's hilarious that somehow Hanae has gotten typecasted for the Queen of Hearts. I don't know how that happened, but okay. But if you want someone more like Riddle, I got you. My first suggestion would be Elias from Wizardess Heart. Both are honor students who are suffering from immense family pressure and strive for perfection. They're both sticks in the mud, and I would say they're very close in demeanor with each other. My second suggestion would be Toa from Court of Darkness, although this comes with a caveat. I've only ever played Toa's spin-offs, and I haven't played his route yet. Toa is also the honor student archetype, and although I think Elias is a little closer to Riddle in personality, I think Toa is also pretty close. As far as I know, though, Toa lacks the anger issues and perfectionism that Riddle has, but they're both a little snobby, good with magic, and honor students. If you like Ace, I would suggest Luca from Wizardess Heart, but again, I haven't read his route, but with Wizardess, you get a pretty good sense of the guys from other routes, so yeah. Both are jerks and kinda selfish. I'm just coming for Ace's life. It takes them a while to genuinely take to the player character. I can't say too much about Luca's character because it would spoil his route, but his backstory is vastly different from Ace's, but they're still flirty troublemakers at the end of the day. For this one, my friend Richter and I discussed it because I was stumped, and he suggested a guy from Wizardess Heart. Both are sweet athletic guys that can be a little clumsy when it comes to magic, and they both have a bit of a temper. I will say that their character arcs are very different, and also Guy's route explicitly deals with child abuse, so it's not an entirely easy read. For Kate, I would recommend Seth from Ikemen Revolution. Seth has a phenomenal route in the first place, but he draws quite a few parallels to Kate. Both are flirty, but Seth is amped up to 11. I swear to God, every other thing that comes out of his mouth is suggestive. However, they both put on cutesy front for others, but that's not exactly the real them. They have secrets and try to keep things to themselves, having trouble fully opening up to others. Kate and Seth are both super similar to each other, so I'm sure if you like Kate, you're gonna like Seth. Alright, you guys are gonna have to walk with me for a bit for this one. If you like Trey, I would recommend Sigurd from Wizardess Heart. I have to say this one is mostly based on vibes, although they do have some things in common. Both wear glasses, although Sigurd doesn't need them all the time. Or he just doesn't wear them all the time. If you wear glasses, you 100% know what I'm talking about. Both are the right-hand men to a prefect figure, Sigurd being the deputy prefect to his cousin Klaus's prefect, and Trey's the vice house warden to Riddle's house warden. Their vibes and positions are similar, but they aren't a one-to-one personality-wise like some other pairs on this list. I think Sigurd is a lot nicer and doesn't mind the spotlight, whereas Trey can be questionable sometimes, and prefers to stay out of the limelight. Listen, I know you're all gonna make fun of me for this suggestion, but I have a reason, I promise. If you like Leona, I would recommend Ted from Wizardess Heart. They're literally almost the exact same person, although I think Ted is a little ruder than Leona, and also doesn't chug respect women juice like Leona. He's not misogynistic, but he isn't like Leona, who comes from a culture of respecting women and, who makes it a point to be very respectful to women. Both are catboys with positions of power / ties to leadership, Leona being a prince and Ted being the next in line for village chief. They're both a little rude and will do whatever it takes to accomplish their goals, including keeping things from others. Their mannerisms are very similar, so I definitely think if you like Leona, you're gonna love Ted. If you like Jack, I recommend Yukiya from Wizardess Heart. Yes, the majority of these suggestions are Wizardess, get over it. I think Yukiya is a bit more emo than Jack, but they're both big softies who are lone wolves and try to do things on their own. They have strong senses of justice and are incredibly close to their families. They can be a bit blunt sometimes, but they mean well. I'd also say Jack is way more tsundere than Yukiya is, so if tsundere-ness is a huge draw for you, Yukiya isn't a tsun, at all. Yukiya is one of my favorite routes in Wizardess, period, and also, he has something else in common with Jack, but that would be going into spoiler territory. Okay, another suggestion with a caveat. I haven't read all of Knight's route yet, but I think if you like Ruggie, you'll like Knight from Court of Darkness. Both have short king energy, although Knight's really the only one who's actually short. They both serve princes and are kind of worked hard. Their vibes are very in line with each other, although Ruggie is a little more self-serving than Knight is, but they feel very similar to me, so I think if you like one, you're probably gonna like the other one. If you like Jade, I think you'll like Azusa from Wizard's Heart. However, a huge content warning. Azusa's route has abuse, death, blood magic, and overall, it's a really dark route. It's one of my favorite routes in the game, but it can be really, really hard to read at some points. Jade and Azusa are both men who appear very friendly and polite at first, but are secretly cold, calculating, and kind of assholes. They are both deeply dedicated to their brothers. They also have similar energy to one another. However, while Jade just kind of stays the way he is, Azusa does change for the better and takes full responsibility for his actions and the abuse he puts the MC through, although he's still kind of a jerk to everyone by the end. And the MC a little bit, but the abuse stops. It's a route. It is a route. It's very well done, but it's a route. If you like Floyd, try Zeus from Wizard's Heart. Both are impulsive and do what they want when they want. They're more concerned about fun than anything else. I think Zeus is a little more loud and more tsundere than Floyd, but let's be real, Floyd has a really hard personality to copy, and Zeus is honestly pretty close. I think Zeus is also a lot smarter than Floyd, but they also have the same feelings about fun and the same kind of motivation, you know what I mean? If they don't feel like applying themselves, they're just not gonna do it. So I have 2 suggestions if you like Kalim. First is Rio from Court of Darkness. Both of these boys are so sweet, understanding, and supportive of those around them. They're sunshine incarnate. If you like Kalim, you're absolutely going to adore Rio. My second suggestion is Randy from, you guessed it, Wizard's Heart. Me and Richter disagree about this one a little bit. Randy's a bit of a loner and tries to do things on his own. He can also be very cynical at times, and his route is honestly really dark. It revolves around betrayal and the loss of a best friend. However, Randy is usually very kind, bubbly, and supportive, which is why I think if you like Kalim, you also may like Randy. But keep in mind, while Rio is a lot closer to Kalim, Randy hits a lot of the same points, but hoo boy, some shit goes down in Randy's route. Once again, I need you guys to walk with me a bit, and also I haven't finished this route, but I'm mostly done with it. I have like 1 chapter left. If you like Jamil, I would recommend Tsubaki from Ninja Shadow. This rec is mostly vibes and story-based. Both hate the oppression present in their societies, Jamil being born a servant, and Tsubaki being discriminated against as a half-Japanese, half-Dutch man in 1850s Japan, and both desperately wanting things to change and to be free. Tsubaki is definitely more flirty than Jamil, but both are dedicated to their ideals and have no problem doing whatever it takes to get what they want. So if you like Vil, you gotta do Rapunzel's route from Another Prince. No, I'm joking, don't. I mean, I did enjoy Rapunzel's route, but appearances are the only similarities he and Vil have. And before anyone gets up in arms, Another Prince and Twst dropped at the same time, like, literally the same time. They both released in March 2020. I'm 99% sure this is a wild coincidence because they'd both be in pre-production at the same time. Anyways, I know this is a basic suggestion, but if you like Vil, Richter and I would suggest Zen from Mystic Messenger. Both are celebrities that are a little vain, try very hard for success, and while they can deeply care for others, sometimes it's a little exhausting to be around them. Also, I just really like Zen. So both Richter and I had different ideas for Malleus. My recommendation is Edward from Ninja Shadow. Both are kind of outcasts who are markedly different from others, Edward being Dutch in 1800s Nagasaki, Japan, and Malleus being a Prince Dragon Fae. Both are very kind and understanding, they don't press others to give them information, and they also kind of do things to the beat of their own drum, you know what I mean? Overall, Edward and Malleus have similar vibes as well, and I feel confident in this recommendation. Richter's suggestion was Juman Han from Mystic Messenger. His reasoning is that both are super lonely people who have a lot of problems stemming from that loneliness. They have unusual ways of showing affection, and are perceived as cold when they aren't really cold, at least not all the time. Now, if you like Malleus' Seiyu, Kado Kazuki, he's actually been in some Otome games. He voices Date Masamune in Ikemen Sengoku, which I highly recommend. Masamune is a really fun route. He also voices Leon in Ikemen Prince. I'm currently reading that one and liking it a lot. But both Masamune and Leon are very different from Malleus. And finally, we have Silver. If you like Silver, try Hugo from Wizard's Heart. Hugo is one of my favorites, and also a huge plus he and Silver could look alike. Both are very serious protectors and will do anything to reach their goal. Hugo is a little less naive than Silver and a harsher person, but both of them have a soft aspect to them. This is another one that's fueled a lot by vibes and character beats, but I think you'll like Hugo if you like Silver. I mean, you should like Hugo anyway because he's amazing and he's in my top 5 Wizard's Heart boyfriends. So those are my suggestions. Thank you again, Richter, for helping me out and letting me rant to you about these Otome boys. If you guys have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and with that, I'll see y'all later. Bye!